Yobachi 2007 back at you with another one. We're going to take a look at a video here today from a news channel in Korea, Arirang News, and South Korea. This is, of course, you wouldn't get anything out of North Korea. And we're going to look at this issue of leftover women. That is a concept in Asia. That's a phrase used specifically in China for women basically over, I forget what the cutoff age where they start applying that, but it's around 29 or 30. If you're not married by that time, you're considered leftover. And there's just this growing uptrend of leftover women in Asian countries. Let's go ahead and get into this video, and then we'll get back with some commentary.
Let's move on to other stories now. Over 2.5 million women are living alone here in Korea. Key contributing factors in the recent spike, longer life expectancy and decrease in marriage. For some expert analysis on this trend, we turn to our Ijiwon.
More women in Korea have been found to be living alone in recent years, the latest data showing more than 5% live by themselves. According to a report Tuesday from Statistics Korea and the Ministry of Gender Equality and Family.
Oh, that's one for you right there. The Ministry of Gender Equality and Family. Yeah, pretending there's gender equality is an anathema to family. It is the beginning of the destruction of family, as we have seen here in the United States. Take a moment to subscribe and like this video, and we'll get back into it. If you would, because YouTube messes with the algorithm, they've changed the way that you subscribe. Maybe if you unsubscribe and then choose the bell from that subscribe drop down that they now have, and unsubscribe and resubscribe, even if you've already done that and hit the bell before, that might help me kick the algorithm. It gets me started in there, and I'd really appreciate that. And with that, we're going to get right back to the program. So now getting to this point, pretending that there is a gender equality and going with this pretense undercuts the family structure and makes it so that women want to compete with men to be men in the family, therefore displacing men from the family, therefore making family no more. And we have seen this grow. It started with the black community intentionally in America, kicking the black man out and giving women a welfare check from welfare daddy, from zaddy, the white government daddy, to get rid of their black man out of their house. And as this concept has spread and white women have taken on this desire to spread their ideals of feminism, which is basically white supremacy. It's a concept that is all about white women arguing with white men over splitting the what was taken and gained from white supremacist rule, basically, and getting their share, and have convinced black women to take on this same ideology as if it somehow applies to black men. But let's get back into the video and see how these concepts and ideologies are now creeping into East Asia and ruining those societies likewise.
In 2015, a total of 2.61 million households were composed of a single woman. They made up a little over 50% of single-member households and more than 13% of all households nationwide. The upward trend has been continuing in recent years, with the latest figure up nearly 18% compared to 5 years earlier, and even twice the number it was back in 2000. Breaking it down by age group, women 60 and older took up the greatest portion at over 40%, followed by women in their 20s at over 15%. Experts say the increase in women living alone is a reflection of fewer women in their 20s and 30s getting married.
The fact that more...
Does that sound familiar? Fewer women in their 20s and 30s getting married. Where have you heard that before? I guess they just want to have fun while they're young. And then they end up in their late 30s and their 40s with no husband. In these cases, at least they don't recklessly sleep around getting raw dogged by Pookie and Ray Ray over there. So few of them have children. They're just alone. At least they're not ruining the next generation's lives. What they're doing is just having nobody to be with as they go into old age and no children to come see about them in their old age. No joys of life of raising kids, no passing on of the family name and heritage. They just wither off into the sunset and go back to the dirt from which they came, with their cats licking their bones because your cat will eat you. I had a guy who was a long-time police officer talked about dogs won't eat their owners, but the cats will lick the bone dry. If you die in your house and nobody comes to find you, and you have cats, they will eat the flesh off of your bones, no problem.
The fact that more women are actively participating in economic activity and that more are opposed to patriarchal family structures
There it
is
is.
resulting in them living alone for a certain period of time.
It's resulted in but it isn't for a certain period of time. It's called for life. They're going to die alone, and the cats are going to eat them and lick their bones. That's what is happening. They're resisting the patriarchy has led to them living alone. Exactly. Exactly. It's led to them having nothingness. Oh man, this is crazy. There's no such thing as the patriarchy. This is the first, like some guys try to argue about how bad it is or how bad it really isn't, and women have taken it they haven't taken it too far. They've made it up. It doesn't exist. We clearly live in a gynocentric society, especially here in the West. And even in Asia, where they haven't really practiced European style kind of male domination in the way that there was for some time in Europe, but there hasn't been anything that resembled a patriarchy in Western society for sure, uh, in a century nearly, and certainly neither in these places, these other sophisticated societies like Korea, Japan. These women can do whatever they want, and they're not resisting any patriarchy. All they're doing is being alone, getting ready to die alone, and there's no social support system for them in their old age. They don't have any kids to come look after them. They're just wither up and die in their loneliness, and they'll go through the last couple of decades of life like that. Enjoy sipping your tea with your other leftover women at the tea party at noon when you're 70. That's what you got to look forward to.
In fact, the same report also showed that last year, fewer than half of women ages 13 and above, just 47%, think people ought to get married, a decrease of 12% compared to 6 years ago. Another reason more women are living alone, the experts said, is that women live longer than men. The fact lends support to the researchers' forecast that by 2045, the number...
Yeah, women live longer than men has nothing to do with you being 35, 40, 45, childless, manless, and prospectless. Has nothing to do with that. So that's what these women are facing. And they have taken on this mentality. They're taking on the gender studies, fourth wave, feminist garbage concepts, talking about patriarchy and all that nonsense. They've allowed American women to export their cultural decay over to them. And hey, they're going to be left with their cats and nothing else. Not even somebody to come see about them. They don't even have kids. I mean, this is what women, allowing women to lead and allowing women's thinking to take precedent in any way. If you want to see what women-led society looks like, it's called the American Projects. That is the microcosm of the ultimate woman-led society. It's the only woman-led society, and look at what it is. The most depraved, the most disorganized, the most horrible place on earth. The American hood is woman-led society. That's what happens when you allow leadership from this type of scattered thinking, the type of self-centered thinking, the type of leadership requires sacrifice, and men sacrifice for their families and for society at large. And people who think the world should revolve around them and things are just supposed to be handed to them cannot be the leaders of any society. So it just doesn't work when that's the case. But anyway, we've heard enough for today. You guys got the picture. You're watching 2007. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, and hit that notification bell with this one. I'm out.